Shalom. Thought I was finished with the inheritance of the Israelites. I think I did 1 and 2, so this will be part 3. Another thought came to me while I was sitting here. I left off on the thought that the Israelites and the Hamashiach said, of course we're his body. So if you're his body, that means you're exactly like him. And he rose with all power. And he said it is finished. The thought of the Father, the will of the Father, his complete work is finished. And since and his purpose was to create a people in his image and likeness that he did in the beginning, the first Adam, and the second Adam was the Hamashiach. Then on the third day, the Hamashiach rose again. And they said over 2,000 years ago he was crucified. And they say today, some people are waiting for the 400 years. They say today is the day of salvation. So today, the third day, as they would say, just consider, he is risen again. His people is awakened to who they are. But yet, he said, eyes have not seen, nor ear heard the things that Yahuwah, how you want to say it, Yahweh, has made. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things that Yahuwah, however you want to say it, has prepared for those who love him. So, the scriptures I'm about to read, eyes have seen these scriptures and ears have heard them. So apparently there's something way greater that he has in store for his people. But I'm going to share what we have seen and what we have heard to let you know there's something way greater coming. Revelation 19:12. His eyes was as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself. We know him by a lot of things. First of all, we knew him as Jesus. Then we knew him as Yahushua, Yahweh Shai, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. We knew him as the Almighty God. That's in Isaiah. The Prince of Peace, the Almighty Counselor. All these different things. We know he had a lot of crowns. But he's coming back with a name that only he knows, but only himself he knows. He had a name written that no man knew but himself. Revelation 2 and 17. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name, written, which no man knoweth, save as him that receiveth it. So first of all, he said he has a new name that he has, that no man knows except himself. And then his people, that overcomes, that he is called, the chosen to overcome, he said he's going to give them, to him that overcometh will I give to eat of hidden manna, and will give him a white stone. In the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, save him that receiveth it. Revelation 14. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. This is that new name that nobody knew except them who received it. That white stone, that hidden manna, that truth. These are they which were not defiled with women. They were defiled with Babylon, the denominations. The names of blasphemy, the denominations. For they are virgins. They are they which follow the Lamb, whichsoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of God into the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. And I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel. See, because the eternal Father sent the everlasting Son, who established the everlasting gospel. And I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, in every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of the water. And we see the fountain comes from the origin, how everything should be from the beginning. But yet he said, I make all things new. And eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, the things that the great Elo has prepared for those who love him, called according to his purpose. Revelation 21:5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And then another place says, for the words I have spoken shall not return void. They shall accomplish what it is set out to do. Revelation 21:17. And he measured the wall thereof, the New Jerusalem. And of course the New Jerusalem is his people. He said, prepare me a body. And he measures the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. So what is it about these new men? This 144,000 first fruit. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what the great Elo has prepared for those who love him, called according to his purpose. There was a question asked one time. They said, this is in Matthew 22:30 and 32. For the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, whereas the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but the living. Shalom.